Welcome to Outlaws and Gunslingers. From the Wild West to the rise of organized crime during the Prohibition, all the way up to today, America has had criminals, gangs, and law enforcement trying to bring them down. Join us as we profile some of the most infamous criminals, gangsters, outlaws, and lawmen in American history. True crime like you've never heard it before. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your hosts, Bang and Dang.
Welcome back to Outlaws, Gunslingers with your hosts, Bang and Dang, and we're back again for some Hells Angels action. This time, instead of our Australia episode last month, we got Australia's daddies.
Oh.
The UK.
Oh.
On this episode, a little bit longer than the Australia episode, and from what I can tell, looks a little bit more violent than the old Australians as well. So
Biker hooligans.
maybe we'll get some action on this one. And like every other Hells Angels club so far, you know, they're going to be involved in some cannabis and meth selling. They also got some contract killing, some extortion, some prostitution, some money laundering, and some credit card fraud.
Mean streets of London.
The National Criminal Intelligence Service, NCIS, called the Hells Angels the fastest growing organized crime group in the world.
Oh.
And they also accused the club of being responsible for more assaults and murders than any other gang in that country. So, yeah, before we get that, go check out our YouTube. If you want to get all of our podcasts in one place, don't have to search around for it. YouTube at Bang Dang Network. If you're listening on YouTube, go check out. If you want to listen to us on the go check out our podcast on Apple and Spotify. Give us a review, share some fans, answer the Spotify question. Members of the San Francisco Hells Angels chapter were invited by the Beatles to visit England in 1968, and in May of 69, one of the first English Hells Angels chapter presidents, Peter Buttons Welsh, began prospecting for the San Francisco Hells Angels. 30th of July 1969, the first two charters in Europe were issued. The first was the East London chapter, which was sanctioned by the San Francisco Hells Angels. Then the South London chapter, which was sponsored by Oakland.
Both London chapters merged in the year of 1973.
Yeah, no need for two.
Right.
London's not big at all.
By jumping away, man. You want to go anywhere in Europe? By 1995, the club's United Kingdom faction consisted of 12 chapters, estimated 250 members. Damn. 2006, the British Hells Angels had a Nomad chapter, which is a chapter that covered the entire United Kingdom.
Good for them. They go whatever the fuck they want.
And they also had chapters in London, Kent, Wessex, Lee Valley, Southampton, Tyne, Ware, Essex, Ashfield, Northampton, Manchester, Wolverhampton, Windsor, and also Wales.
All right, good for them.
All right. The growth of the
no Worcesters or Leicesters or any weird names like that, huh?
I think it's more like country-ish.
Leicester,
aren't they? Isn't it?
England is a country. These are all cities.
What I'm saying is more like country-ish. Worcester.
Right, like the
Leicester or whatever.
Like the hillsides.
Right. Which are a lot.
Right.
How do they ride bikes over there? It's always raining.
They're used to it, man.
They got rain tires and stuff or something like that. The growth of the Hells Angels in the United Kingdom has been greatly aided by the police indifference, with feeling being the Hells Angels, they're just harmless fellas.
Merely harmless, huh? Well,
harmless chaps.
Oh, they're just harmless blokes. We'll see.
The Modies.
We'll see about that. Because Nick Clark of the NCIS stated to Canadian journalists Julian Schur and William Marsden that when he joined the NCIS in 95, he was the only one of two officers assigned to full-time to outlaw bikers. Wow. Clark told Schur and Marsden, I was quite shocked to find out that at the time, outside of North America, the UK has the biggest population of Hells Angels in the world.
Right.
When Clark joined the NCIS in 95, there were 13 Hells Angels chapters in the United Kingdom, and by 2006, the number had risen to 16.
Oh, shit.
All right, so in 11 years, they added 3. Good for them.
Right. Perfect. Well, in turn, the British Hells Angels have waged a slick public relations campaign to promote the image of themselves as lovable rogues.
Oh.
Despite the origins of the Hells Angels in the United States, the British Angels have sought to wrap themselves up in Union Jack, both literally and metaphorically.
Well, why wouldn't they? They're in their country.
Depicting themselves as
they supposed to ride around with fucking American flags?
Right. Depicting themselves as the ultra-patriotic defenders of British values.
Good for them.
As they should do. June 2002, London chapter, led by chapter president Alan Snob Fisher. They took part in the Queen's Golden Jubilee Parade.
Oh, nice. Look at them. It's almost, they love them over there, huh? Right. Well, Sharon Marsden wrote, in no other country in the world do the Hells Angels get as easy as a rise as they do in the UK, from politicians to press, the public, and even at times the po-po.
Plus, I think the law enforcement likes that sometimes these guys just take care of their shit.
Right. They're like, we don't have guns, so you guys got to do something about this. Sharon Marsden noted that senior ministers in the Labour government of Tony Blair, such as Hazel Blair's, the Secretary of State for Crime Reduction, Policing, Community Safety, and Counterterrorism. It's too long of an office name, dude.
Right.
They openly took part in Hells Angels sponsored events without causing any controversy,
Fantastic.
which would not be the case in other parts of the Commonwealth, such as Australia and Canada.
Right.
And definitely not in America.
No. Well, look at the UK trying to show people how a bike gang could be.
Right.
Central.
We'll get political favor while we just turn a blind eye to your murders.
Central to the image that the British Angels seek to promote is the annual Bulldog Bash, where the club seeks to promote itself as a patriotic and family-friendly group.
Okay.
Hey, come on, let your kids.
We got bounce houses.
Right.
We got beans and mash.
We even made a little merry-go-round with broke-down bikes, motorcycles.
Right, that'd be
that
cool.
the kids can. The Bulldog Bash features young women serving as topless motorcycle.
All right, well, never mind. Can't bring your kids.
Scratch
Never
that.
mind. Nope.
Damn it.
It says family friendly. How the fuck does it have topless?
Well, it is Britain.
I guess, but still.
Oh, wow. So they had topless motorcycle washers. They have live entertainment. Does that count as the topless motorcycle washers?
All right.
That would be live, right? A 24-hour bar. Fuck, I loved UK.
I think you would have to, right?
An all-night dance tent. And a makeshift shopping village. No shit. They're like a little flea market.
Yeah.
Fantastic, dude. The Daily Telegraph reported in August 2004 about the Angels at the Bulldog Bash that what a fine bunch of friendly, entertaining chaps they turned out to be. Cool. Sure has stated that I think England is one of the few countries where the myth of the Angels as lovable rascals endures. I think it is in part because you have a biker culture, weekend warrior, and more families associated with motorcycles. But if you look at the Hells Angels history, it is one of blood, violence, extortion, and drugs. It is such an exclusive club that the excuse that it is the odd rotten apple to blame won't wash. Good luck.
Well, sure, it theorized that the British Hells Angels' reputation as lovable rascals has endeared in part because of the club's publicity campaigns, and in part because police task force targeting motorcycle gangs have been disbanded.
Oh, wow.
Sharon Marsden wrote that the loudest of all the Hells Angels chapters was the Kent chapter.
That makes sense.
Whose fortress-like clubhouse located on a farm in the Kentish countryside was more typical of the Canadian Hells Angels clubhouses than the type normally found in the UK.
Yeah, those old redneck
The best-known British Hells Angel, Ian Maz Harris, was a member of the Kent chapter. All right.
Okay.
I'm assuming we'll hear from this guy a lot.
I don't know if he's best known, well known. His name ain't in blue.
Right.
Well, Harris, he held the rare distinction of being Hells Angels with a PhD.
Good for you, doctor. That's doctor. That's not a doctorate. That's Mr. Maz.
He went to Warwick University where he had a piece on myth and reality, motorcycle subcultures. Good for him. Harris served as the chief spokesman for the British Hells Angels and often appeared on TV to defend the reputation of his club.
All right.
Nick Clark said of him, I had a lot of admiration for him as my nemesis. Okay.
Isn't that, yeah.
Harris, he owned the Kent Custom Bike Shop, and it was described as a successful businessman up until his death in the year of 2000.
Well, I think after his death, he wouldn't be so successful.
Right.
Most
It
of,
all went downhill after he died.
most of the members of the Kent chapter run businesses with Paul Herman the German McLean, running a home services company. Andrew Messer owning several cottage craft stores, and so UK.
Right.
And Brian Boz Raybould running Boz Engineering.
Okay.
The prosperity of the Kent chapter is typical of the British Hells Angels. All right. Right. Drugs, all that stuff.
Right.
A police report noted houses were purchased by chapters. Individual members who were either unemployed or employed in low-paid manual labor were able to purchase houses for themselves. They acquired high-value Harley-Davidson motorcycles, which they retain as status symbols.
Damn right. Look at these guys. Fantastic.
That's actually pretty smart as a club to buy up a bunch of houses in an area and then rent them or sell them cheap as hell to your members. Like,
Right. Fuck yeah.
do that shit, dude.
Right. Hell yeah. Graham Weeks of the NCIS, he said of the British Hells Angels, they are up there with the triads and the mafia and the East Europeans.
So he targets out a whole ass part of the fucking world.
They're up there with the best organized crime people in the world, he says. Weeks stated that the British Hells Angels are closely connected with the Hells Angels chapters in the Netherlands, Sweden, New Zealand, Australia, and also the United States. And guess what? You would never believe what they're involved in. You guessed it. Ecstasy, cocaine, and amphetamines.
Well, Weeks told Sharon Marsden, I know they're dealing large amounts of drugs, they're trafficking firearms, and we've never been able to hurt them.
Oh.
Weeks credits the success of the Hells Angels to corruption, as he stated. They are very crafty the way they invite people into their social world so they can use them. Solicitors, accountants, telephone employees, inland revenue, police employees. They will try to court any type of civil servant that can help.
Might as well.
Right. A police raid on a clubhouse in the West Midlands revealed that the Hells Angels knew all of the radio frequencies used by the police, along with a map showing which areas for every police car and call sign.
Fantastic.
Look at these guys, dude.
Look at these finally smart motherfuckers, huh? A raid made in the aftermath of the Battersea Arts Center incident that revealed that the Angels had a number of secret police documents and info from the Popo National Computer. 2 police officers were sacked on the suspicion of... 2 police officers were fired on the suspicion of selling documents to the Hells Angels. Poor guys. 1998, NCIS disbanded its anti-biker unit under the grounds that it was not even necessary.
Well, they got all this information on us. They know all our call signs and know where all our patrol cars are going to be. But, I don't think it's necessary to do anything further with these guys.
Right. Well, NCIS reportedly spent an estimated 1/3 of its annual budget on gathering intelligence about biker gangs. That's a lot. Many policemen have criticized the disbanding of the unit as causing a complete fragmentation of intelligence, as there is no longer one office dedicated entirely to the Hells Angels.
Well, that's how they get running wild. Weeks later told Sharon Marsden, in this country, the senior officers and the government aren't bothered by the Hells Angels and the biker gangs. The Americans and the Canadians regard it as a war. Soldiers in a war against serious and violent crime. In this country, the police don't give a shit, basically. Here you just work on them a couple of years and then you go on to other things.
Right.
Bikers don't. They stay loyal to each other for a lifetime or for as long as they choose. And they develop an expertise, discipline, and intelligence gathering.
Oh.
And they're far better at that than we are because they stick to it.
Damn right they do. It's called code. It's called honor. One serving officer, who asked to be unnamed, told Sharon Marsden in 2006, the NCIS has been absolutely cascaded because there has now been a resurgence of bikers in the Midlands involved in meth trade, and there's nobody at NCIS who has the intelligence on it. All the stuff there is 5 years old.
Damn, that's a lifetime. Mm-hmm. Well, let's take a look at, obviously, 99% of this shit taking place in England.
Right.
That first Hells Angels chapter in the UK was founded in London on July 30th, 1969, like we said.
Fantastic.
The motorcycle club has established 17 chapters since in England, with memberships based primarily, yes, we said it already. And then we're going to go category by category. We got some violent incidents.
Uh-oh.
3 Hells Angels were jailed in Colchester.
Sure.
For threatening behavior with a U, likely to cause a breach of the peace in the aftermath of the August 1971 Wheelie Festival, at which 39 club members fought with stall holders.
Oh, you can't do that.
Hells Angels motorcycles were vandalized, and a number of bikers needed medical treatment, some for severe injuries, after the Hells Angels destroyed catering equipment using iron bars.
Oh, shit.
November 1st, 1972, 3 Hells Angels were sentenced to prison for their part in the rape of a 14-year-old girl who was seized from the street and sexually assaulted in front of laughing teenagers in a local cafe during a National Hells Angels convention in Winchester.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
Can't have that. Son of a bitch. Ian Everest, they call him Moose. He was convicted of raping the girl, sentenced 7 years.
That's it?
Stephen Ripley, they call him Boots.
Call him Believe It or Not.
And Anthony Mann, they call him Chaz. They were each given 4 years for aiding and abetting Everest. Sentencing the trio, Judge Sir George Waller and his...
What is a goofy little fucking wig?
He said this: "We have heard of the Hells Angels as an utterly evil organization, which is vile and corrosive of young people. But I do not sentence you for being members of the Hells Angels. No doubt the evil nature of that organization has led you into this situation. So you kind of are.
You're not sentencing them. You're sentencing them lightly because they are Hell's Angels.
Right.
Well, sounds like to me.
Right. 1982, Hell's Angels party. Cookham Dean, a woman. Cookham Dean, woman.
Cookham Dean.
In 1982, at a Hell's Angels party in Cookham Dean, a woman was dragged off the streets and tied to the ground. How do you tie them to the ground? Oh, I see. And tied to the ground via 4 stakes and proceeded to strip naked as the prelude to a gang rape. Oh, no.
Well, fortunately for her, however, a fight broke out when Hell's Angels started to photograph the proceedings despite orders not to.
No, you dumbass. Why would you do
led
that?
to shootings.
Yeah, you dumb son of a bitch.
Jeez. Well, Hell's Angels member David Richards and his girlfriend were sentenced to a minimum of 16 years imprisonment in December of 84 for the murder of 16-year-old Michael Groves, who suffered 56 injuries in an attack with a hammer, a knife, and a wrench at the couple's flat in West London.
Son of a bitch.
Jeez.
Why the fuck is 16-year-old there anyway?
Party in 16.
Richards wrote Hell's Angels on the wall with Groove's blood.
Groves' blood? All right. Helter Skelter.
Right. After serving 21 years of his sentence and months before his scheduled release, Richards absconded from the open prison at HM Prison Sudbury in May 2006, fleeing to Ireland. What? They sure he thought he was going to die instantly when he got out?
Maybe.
Well, he was jailed for 3 months for robbery without his status as a fugitive in the UK coming to the attention of his Irish authorities.
Yeah, well, probably I could believe that because I don't think Ireland and the UK are sharing any information. So.
Well, he ended up going back to England, settling in Wolverhampton. 6th of June 2014, Richards apprehended at his home in Penn after the Metropolitan Police received a tip-off regarding his whereabouts. And he was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison on September 1st, 2014, after pleading guilty to escaping from custody. Why would he do that? How long did he have? Months.
Months ago.
Now he has to go for another 2.5 years.
1985, the McSorley family were terrorized out of their house following a campaign by the Windsor chapter after they called the police to complain that they were playing their music too loud at a party at their clubhouse.
Well,
Pat McSorley stated that he decided to sell his house after the Hells Angels threatened to kill his wife and children if he did not leave Windsor immediately.
yeah, I guess you probably want to go. A police report noted there was swift and severe punishment handed out to any person or group displaying the death's head without authority. Well, this happened when there was a man in Reading. He had a large and severe untreated burn on his right arm, as he was not a Hells Angels, but had a tattoo of the Angels, which the members of the Reading chapter had cut and burned off. Sorry,
you don't want to do that.
You lucky they didn't kill him.
Right.
Lucky they didn't kill him.
Right.
April 2nd, 1987, Rita Parmenter, a sex worker known as Apricot Lil, was sexually assaulted and strangled to death by former Hells Angels member Leonard Tedham. That happened in Hastings. Tedham, he was sentenced to life in prison for the murder in 1988. Look at that shit.
January 2019, Matthew Barnes, president of the Sussex chapter of the Angels, was formally cleared of allegedly assaulting Christopher Harrison. They call him Swaggers.
Oh.
Harrison alleged that he'd been assaulted by Barnes and other Angels members after refusing to join the club.
Oh, I don't think
When he was found unconscious and with his, what is this, wrestling?
Right.
We're giving you 3 weeks to join. And with his eyes ruptured, damn, outside a pub in Hastings in February of 2016. Barnes' co-defendant, Oliver Wilkinson, was also acquitted following a trial in August of 18.
This would be the first story I heard for somebody not joining.
Well,
Gets their ass beat.
that'd be the first story I heard of the Angels recruiting him and then getting mad when they don't want to.
Right. I don't know about that. Wow. An Angels member allegedly assaulted a toilet attendant after being caught using cocaine in a pub in Maidstone. That was on the 18th of May, 2019. A group of 6 men believed to be Angels were in the pub that night. In a different incident, 49 people were arrested on suspicion of drug offenses and possession of offensive weapons during a 3-day event held to mark the 50th anniversary of the Hells Angels founding in the UK. This took place in Surrey and Sussex. Sussex? Yeah, Sussex. From the 30th of May to the June 1st, 2019, culminated in a mass ride of around 100 motorcycles from Pease Pottage to Brighton.
Okay, good for them.
Nice.
The majority of those arrested were either cautioned or released without charge. Of the 12 people charged, 5 Germans, 3 Hungarians, 1 Swiss, 1 French, 1 Czech, and 1 Greek man.
Oh, okay.
At least 7 were given suspended prison sentences.
Oh.
Okay, 27 international members of the Hells Angels were also prevented from entering to the UK to attend the event due to previous convictions.
Oh.
Yeah, You weren't going to get in. Come on, guy.
Right. Come on now. How many times we got to tell you? Members of the Angels Sunderland-based Tyne and Ware chapter took part in counter-protest against a Black Lives Matter demonstration near a Gray's monument in Newcastle upon Tyne. Is that a city or something?
Yes.
That happened in June of 2020. Biker disorder and fighting between the two groups resulted in the police, dogs, horses, as well as member of the public being injured, and 38 people were charged with violent disorder.
Yeah.
May 2022, Hells Angels members Christopher Butters and Colin Green, the Tyne and Ware chapter president, they're sentenced to 31 and 29 months imprisonment respectively. They only did 15.
Club prospect Matthew Chapman was also sentenced to 30 months. Green died at HM Prison, Northumberland on 24th of May, 2022. Oh, poor guy. A postmortem report concluded that he died of a heart disease. On August 22nd, 2020, a car was driven through the wall of the Hells Angels Manchester clubhouse in Cadishead as well. That's a violent incident as well, guys.
Take a look at some gang wars. In the late 60s and 70s, a number of homegrown British outlaw biker clubs in reaction to the international publicity of the Angels in the United States. Well, they began adopting the club's name, red on white color scheme, or a variation of the Death's Head.
You can't be doing that.
A number of these unsanctioned clubs from the south and west of England
amalgamated. Joined forces.
Joined forces and were invited to join the official All England chapter of the Hells Angels. They're like, dude, why fight? Let's join.
Right. An unchartered club in Windsor was refused permission, though, but continued to wear identical replicas of the Hells Angels colors.
What?
In addition, the unauthorized Windsor chapter had a black man, which offended the all-white Angels. 15th of April, 1979, a group of up to 30 Hells Angels armed with guns, axes, and knives ambushed 15 members of the rogue Windsor Hells Angels who were sleeping in a car park near Brockenhurst.
Son of a bitch. Why were they sleeping in a car park?
Yeah, they're probably, where else I gotta go?
Just because they're in a bike gang don't mean they can't go home.
Yep, Mama said no.
Right. Son of a bitch. 5 Windsor bikers injured, while the rest escaped into the New Forest countryside. Richard Sharman, the leader of the Windsor chapter, he survived being shot 3 times in the head. Holy shit.
You better get your life straight, boy.
Damn. Richard Jessup, he suffered a fractured skull. And another man, he received a shotgun wound to the buttocks.
Oh, shot me in the ass.
And jumped up and bit me in my butt. 24 Hells Angels members were convicted for the attack, and they were in prison or given suspended sentences in 1980.
Jeez.
The Windsor chapter finally became Hells Angels in 1985. Shortly after, its only black member, John Mickelson, died.
All right, come on, guys.
Like he's dead? Oh, come on, guys.
Don't get in here. Well, as we know, black men are not permitted to join the club, and Mickelson's membership was a significant factor in the Windsor chapter failing to be sanctioned earlier.
That's still not a rule today, is it?
It's not a technical rule, but it doesn't happen, as Sonny Barger said.
All right.
Mickelson died in police custody after being arrested in Bedfont on suspicion of car theft, 15th July 1985.
Oh, wow.
He was clubbed over the head by a policeman in order to force him to release a stranglehold on another officer and subsequently choked to death on his own vomit.
Oh, shit.
7 police officers, including a chief inspector, were suspended from duty after an inquest jury in West London Coroner's Court ruled on 27th of March 1986 that Mickelson had been unlawfully killed. He was the original George Floyd up in this bitch.
Right. Son of a bitch. 15th of December, 1986. The 7 policemen began a successful appeal in the High Court of Justice to challenge the verdict, claiming that the jury's finding was not even supported by evidence. The application to quash the initial jury verdict was opposed by Coroner John Burton and the family and friends of Mickelson.
That was man, so.
Well, the verdict was changed to manslaughter.
Yeah, what they wanted, didn't they?
Sure and fuck dead.
All right, let's go.
Oh, damn, they fucking with the Vikings?
Let's continue on these gang wars and see what's going on with the Vikings between them and the Hells Angels.
Looks like they were Hells Angels Vikings. Wow.
Another unsanctioned motorcycle gang using the club's name was the Hells Angels Vikings.
And I bet the Hells Angels like, go ahead, guys. Go ahead, guys.
They were formed in Surrey in 1969. The Hells Angels Vikings were in a constant state of war with the official Hells Angels chapter in London and were renamed the Vikings in 1975.
Wow.
The Vikings, who continued using a Death's Head logo similar to the Hells Angels, refused an invitation to join the Angels All England chapter in 1980. Like, why?
Right.
Shit.
Wow. Angels member David Wyeth along with an accomplice, carried out an assault and attempted to steal the colors of a Vikings member in Maidstone on the 7th of May, 2018. Victim suffered a fractured vertebrae. Damn. Wyeth pled guilty to a fray and was given a 12-week sentence in August of 2019. 7th of November 2018, members of the Hells Angels Slough chapter, or Slough, or Slough, or Slough, or whatever, Slough, and the affiliated Red Devils, they ambushed 6 members of the Vikings and their support group, the Wargs Brotherhood. They were meeting at the Wargs Clubhouse in Blindley Heath.
A total of 13 men are believed to have been involved in the attack using knives, baseball bats, and other weapons others, which left the 6 rival bikers wounded. Several suffered head injuries. All except one were stabbed, and one was disemboweled. Oh. Damn. The conflict between the groups allegedly began when the Hells Angels sought to open a chapter in Surrey and tried to entice the Wargs into switching their allegiance from the Vikings to the Angels.
Oh, shit. Wow. Well, when it became clear that the Vikings would resist any attempt to persuade the Wargs to leave them, the Angels decided to launch the attack.
Man, the Wargs got to be feeling pretty special right about now. Right. The Angels and the Vikings fighting over us, boys.
Oh, wow. The 7 prospective Hells Angels and Red Devil members, which were Perzemblasaw, Corcus, Jimmy the Kid, Bartosz Plesniak, Peter Zamajewski, Ladislav Zlely, Tomas Tomasek, and David Jacobs. Thank you, David Jacobs. They were convicted of multiple offenses and each sentenced to 14 years in prison in October 2019.
Okay. Let's take a look at their rival with the Luton Town Migs.
Oh.
Members of the Hells Angels Lee Valley chapter took part in a mass brawl against a group from the Luton Town Migs hooligan firm at the Blockers Arms Public House in Luton, May 1990. The Migs gained the upper hand, forcing the bikers from the pub. With further violence seeming inevitable, undercover police officers were assigned to observe key figures on both sides. However, the Migs decided to pay the Hells Angels 2,000 euros, or whatever you guys do over there, pounds or something, in compensation rather than face the continued threat of retaliation.
Fantastic.
They're like, dude, we just wanted to drink beer.
That's all we wanted to do.
It's a pound. 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about the end of them. They're like, dude, we just want to drink beer and get away from the wives and shit, you know?
Right. Just chill out, man, you sons of bitches. All right, let's take a look at the Satan Slaves. Hells Angels English Nomads chapter was formed on the 25th of February, 1989. Nomads chapter became involved in a turf war.
How do you involve in a turf war when you're a nomad? You don't have turf.
Right, with the Southampton chapter of the Satan Slaves,
Southampton,
which began after Hells Angels members Stephen Harris and Barry Byrne were fired upon during a trip to Bristol.
Oh, can't be doing that. Not a trip to Bristol.
No, it's Bristol, baby. Nomads chapter president Harris was wounded in the arm while Byrne escaped injury. Another Angels member, David McKenzie, he was stabbed 8 times after being attacked outside a pub in Gloucester months later.
All right, April 91, Stephen Grumps Cunningham, a leading member of the Nomads chapter and major amphetamine and cannabis dealer, lost his right hand when a car bomb targeting a Satan slave biker exploded prematurely in Southampton. Wow. Satan Slaves member targeted by Cunningham was the leader of a rival drug enterprise.
Oh, wow.
Cunningham sported a new patch consisting of 2 Nazi-style SS lightning bolts below the words "filthy few" after he recovered from attempting to set the bomb. Okay.
Wow.
Cool guy. According to the book Gangs, A Journey into the Heart of the British Underworld by Tony Thompson, the Filthy Few patch is awarded only to those who have committed or are prepared to commit murder on the club's behalf.
Oh, can't give somebody a patch for preparing.
Well, the motherfucker better get a patch for losing a damn hand at least. How do we call them? The handless, the few fingers or something like that, you know.
We can call him his left-hand man. That's
right.
That's the president's left-hand man.
He's only got his right.
He only got his left. He lost his right hand.
I get it.
His right-hand man lost his right
I get
hand.
it.
Now he's his left hand.
But it'd be funnier if they called him the left-hand man, but he had his right hand.
Right.
You know. He should be called the right-hand man. He's my right-hand man.
Yeah, call him Lefty. Anywho, let's take a look at the Outlaws. The Wolverhampton Hells Angels chapter became involved in a long-running dispute with the Derby-based Road Tramps motorcycle gang over control of the Rock and Blues Custom Show, which was a lucrative annual motorcycle festival, which the Road Tramps founded in 1883. They founded
Why
it.
are we having a
Angels.
long dispute, Angels?
Come on.
Angels is like, oh, we don't give a fuck.
We're like, that's a good idea. We want it.
Mine.
A few weeks before the opening of the July 1992 edition of the event, the Derbyshire Constabulary,
Constabulary,
probably. The Derbyshire Constabulary received intelligence indicating that the Angels planned to attack rival bikers at the show, and the police subsequently forbade the Road Tramps from even allowing any Angels to attend. Like,
good for them.
Don't let these guys in.
Well, the Wolverhampton Hells Angels were simultaneously involved in a feud with the Psycho Tramps biker gang of Birmingham. What is up with the Tramps name?
All right.
The Road Tramps, the Psycho Tramps. Okay, where do the Outlaws fit into this? Which resulted in dozens of assaults, numerous stabbings and shootings, and several mass armed brawls in the early 90s.
Wow.
A man from Wolverhampton was charged with attempted murder after 3 Psycho Tramps members were shot and wounded when their car was fired on by a passing vehicle in April of 92.
Damn you guys. Look at you sons of bitches. Prior to 1992 Rock and Blues Custom Show, the Psycho Tramps, the Road Tramps, they merged with 5 other biker clubs. The multi-chapter Errate, the Pagans of Leamington Spa,
The Pagans, huh?
the Stafford Eagles, the Road Runners, and the Leicester's Pariahs. Pariah?
Is it Pariah, or I thought it was, I don't know, I guess.
Yeah. They formed a coalition against the Hells Angel.
Right.
Yeah, they're like, come on, motherfuckers. See what you got now. The various gangs united to become the Midland Outlaws, whose colors consisted of a skull wearing Native American headdress, featuring 7 different colored feathers, with each color representing one of the founding clubs.
Oh, that's that sweet. And you guys are using American
Indians.
Right. But all right.
There's no Native Americans in England, are there?
Well, they wouldn't be called Native Americans then. They'd be called Native Englands.
Native Englands. There's no Indians over there, though.
Oh.
With each color representing one of the yes. August 1992. Former Psycho Tramps member survived being shot with a sawn-off shotgun through the letterbox on the front door of his home. Oh,
And they stuck that bitch in there.
Oh.
Nice. At the Hells Angels annual Bulldog Bash in Long Marston 2 weeks later, 2 Angels kidnapped, tortured, and interrogated a member of an independent motorcycle gang who was friendly with the members of the Midland Outlaws.
Oh, wow. Guilty by association.
Forcing him into revealing information about the reasons behind the Outlaws' formation and future plans.
They said, they're sick of your shit, man.
Right. The Midlands Outlaws later began prospecting for the American Outlaws Association, the Hells Angels' biggest rivalry internationally, and patched over to officially join in February 2000. Uh-oh, boys.
Oh, wow. During the late 1990s, the Hells Angels waged a 2-year war against the Outcast biker gang, which was centered in London and East Anglia. The 2 clubs had historically coexisted without violence. Police theorized that the Angels' attempts to nullify the Outcasts started after they were warned by the club's American leadership to combat the rise of rival motorcycle gangs or have their charter revoked. Oh.
Right, they're like, you're letting too many motherfuckers just pop up.
Right.
England's not that big, guys.
Right, take care of that shit. Another theory is that the clubs were engaged in a conflict over control of London drug and prostitution rackets. Probably both.
The dispute began when the Outcasts tried to absorb a small Hertfordshire club, the Lost Tribe, in June of 97. Concerned that such a move would make the Outcasts their equal in numbers, the Hells Angels themselves then laid claim to the Lost Tribe. 22 Outcast members defected to the Hells Angels when the Angels began coercing Outcasts into patching over. Oh, damn. In November 97, 2 members of the Outcasts were arrested in possession of loaded shotguns, allegedly on their way to confront the Angels.
Ooh, all right.
Damn.
Okay. 31st of January.
35th of January.
35th.
Again, what does this have to do with the Outlaws?
Right. 31st of January, year 1998. The Battersea Arts Center incident. Outcast members David Flipper Armstrong and Malcolm Terminator St. Clair murdered
Well, not a fucking Terminator then, are you?
after being ambushed by members of the Essex Hells Angels chapter, known as the Hatchet Crew. They did that at the Rockers reunion concert at the Battersea Arts Center in Battersea, which is in South London. Armstrong, he was dragged from his motorbike and hacked to death with axes and knives.
Damn.
St. Clair raced to his aid, stabbed 8 times.
Damn.
Son of a bitch.
A third outcast, David Traherne, named Diddy.
Oh.
Gotta get rid of that name, guy.
Yeah.
And an outcast turned angel, Barry Hollinsworth, were also injured in the attack, which was coordinated using microphone headsets. Oh, jeez. Acting under orders from the leaders of the Hells Angels 14 chapters nationwide, approximately 40 members armed with pickaxe handles, hammers, machetes, knives, iron bars, and axes were present at the annual Rockers Reunion, which was traditionally attended by the Outcasts.
Okay.
Outcast members also provided security at the event.
Did they?
Well, clearly not very much.
Jeez, OP. Metropolitan Police launched Operation Middlezoy, an investigation into the incident, which resulted in Hells Angels bikers Hollingsworth, Ronald Waite, Raymond Woodward being charged with murder. Okay. Charges against Hollingsworth and Woodward were withdrawn after two protected witnesses in the case, and Outcast and his wife, they refused to give any evidence due to the police inadvertently revealing their names to the solicitor for the defense.
Oh, no.
Like, what? You told them our names? Oh, shit, we got to go.
Shit, right. Hollingsworth and Woodward, who were Hells Angels prospects at the time of the attack, were subsequently rewarded. You better fucking give them full membership of that.
You ain't kidding.
Essex Chapter Vice President Waite was convicted of conspiring to cause grievous bodily harm and sentenced to 15 years imprisonment at the Old Bailey on 23rd of November, 98. Damn, so the damn vice president gets convicted with the two prospects, though.
All right.
The murder charge against him was dismissed by prosecutors when the jury failed to reach a verdict, though. But he still got grievous bodily harm. The 18 stone, or 114 kilogram, or whatever that would be in pounds, weight, who suffered from angina and diabetes, died of prison of a heart attack in 2001.
Poor guy. Outcast Sergeant at Arms Richard Stitch Anderton. He was arrested with a 45 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver.
No, that'll get you put to death in England.
Right, he had it in his waistband after the police detectives stopped him in his car and pool. That was in June of 1998. A subsequent search of his home by the National Crime Squad uncovered additional weapons, including an Uzi submachine gun, AK-47, a rocket launcher, as well as hundreds of shotgun cartridges, thousands of 9mm rounds, amphetamines, cannabis, and ecstasy.
Got a bunch of shotgun rounds, but no shotgun, huh?
Right.
Police believe the arsenal was intended to be used in the Outcast war against the Angels.
Yeah, most likely, or defense,
right.
Or...
Following his arrest, Anderton, a former Angels prospect, claimed that he had moved from Essex to Dorset and armed himself after learning that he was listed on a Hells Angels death list of outcasts who were to be killed on sight. He was in prison for 3 years, June of 99. In March of 99, a fertilizer and petrol bomb was found at the clubhouse of the Hells Angels Lee Valley chapter in Luton. And there was an attempted arson attack on a motorcycle shop owned by Angels biker Ian Maz Harris in Kent as well.
Oh, shit, it's ramping up.
Mm-hmm. These outcasts. Who the fuck are the outcasts?
All right. Two outcasts were then shot close to their East London clubhouse in June 1999. Both survived, but refused to cooperate with the Popo. The outcasts disbanded as a result of the conflict.
Oh, shit.
Aligning themselves with the Midland Outlaws.
I see.
And joining the club in February 2000 to the American Outlaws Association. So they patched over, huh?
Work with them.
Outlaws, who are mainly based in the West Midlands, have since become the Hells Angels' main rivals in the United Kingdom.
In the world.
Since opening chapters in the country in February of 2000.
Oh, shit. August 12, 2001, a Canadian Hells Angels member was shot 3 times in the leg and wounded after shots were fired from a dark-colored saloon car on the M40 motorway as he left the Bulldog Bash held at the Shakespeare County Raceway in Long Marston. He refused to make a statement to the police, and the shooting went unsolved. In an identical incident on the 12th of August 2007, Angels member Gary Tobin was shot dead as he rode his motorcycle home to London, where he worked as a Harley-Davidson service manager from the Bulldog Bash he was leaving from. Right. Damn.
2 bullets were fired from a Rover, which drove up alongside him as he sped down the M40 motorway. One hit him in the head.
Oh, he's done.
7 members of the Outlaws, the entire South Warwickshire chapter, were convicted of his murder and sentenced to a total of 191 years in prison.
Wiped out a whole damn chapter.
Holy shit. It is believed that Tobin, he was killed due to the fact that the Hells Angels run Bulldog Bash is held in Outlaws territory.
Oh, fuck off.
And that the killing may have been sanctioned by the Outlaws leadership in the United States.
See, that's even more petty than the Hells Angels trying to take over that one festival.
Right.
The Bulldog Bash is held before you fuckers got here.
Right, you fucking pricks.
Jeez. A brawl between up to 30 Hells Angels and Outlaws members took place at the Birmingham International Airport January 20th, 2008.
Oh, shit.
After 2 groups had found themselves together on a flight.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was different. The other one happened in America. So they're doing it again over here.
Oh.
This flight happened from Alicante, Spain.
Oh, shit.
With police recovering various weapons, including knuckle dusters, hammers, a machete. How the fuck are you getting a machete on a damn plane?
And a meat cleaver.
And a meat cleaver.
Oh, wow.
3 Hells Angels and 4 Outlaws were convicted as a result. And this is after 9/11.
Oh, my.
Brass knuckles, hammers, machete, and a meat cleaver all got on a plane.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic. Well, let's go from there to drug trafficking.
Right.
Angels became involved in a dispute between a Dutch drug trafficker and a Liverpool crime family. Man, that's a hell of a fucking...
A Dutch drug trafficker and a Liverpool crime family walk into a bar.
They run into a Hell's Angels. And this is what they said.
Pew, pew.
Yep, this happened in 1992. The Liverpudlian gang had made a significant down payment on a large shipment of cannabis.
Wait a minute.
From Amsterdam.
Is that what Liverpool guys call themselves?
Liverpudlians?
Liverpudlians? Not a Liverpoolian, you're a Liverpudlian.
Liverpudlian. They wanted... Yeah, they put a significant down payment on a large shipment of cannabis from Amsterdam, which was seized by the British Customs during a routine check of a Dutch registered ship docking at Manchester. Duh.
Right.
Under the terms of the...
Like they don't know.
Right.
They would be searching. I think that would be the number one thing they would search for from Amsterdam.
Right. Under the terms of the agreement, the drugs were no longer the responsibility of the Dutchmen once they had left Dutch waters. But the Liverpool family refused to pay the $140,000 owed.
Pounds.
Yep, 140 pounds owed. Actually, euros.
Pounds.
Or is that pound?
That's a pound.
Yeah. 140,000 pounds owed. And so the trafficker, a former Hells Angels, contracted the club to collect the debt owed to him. He's like, guess what?
All right. Hey, boys.
You know how it goes, man. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. 3 Hells Angels, Wolverhampton chapter Vice President Michael Long, Mick Rollage, Andrew Trevis, also from Wolverhampton, and Windsor chapter member Stephen Pollock. They traveled to Antrim on 7th of October 1992 and agreed to meet the Liverpudlians outside a supermarket in the Old Roan area.
Okay.
While the Hells Angels waited in their car, a gunman approached and shot Rollage 4 times in the chest, killing him before escaping in a waiting vehicle. Damn, that was a setup.
Damn.
1993, Delroy Davies was acquitted after a trial at Liverpool Crown Court, and Thomas Durrez was jailed for 13 years for conspiracy to murder.
Holy shit.
Damn. Ran upon them fools. So this Liverpool, was it like a mafia almost? Probably like the British mafia or some shit like that, I'm assuming?
Gotta be something like that. I don't know. Liverpool is a dirty, dirty place. The British Angels have a close association with the Canadian Angels.
Well, I would assume.
The Angels Montreal chapter was involved in shipping cocaine to the Angels in London. 1994, Montreal chapter shipped 558 kilograms of pure Colombian cocaine to the London chapter and unknowingly recruited an undercover agent of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, right?
I can't feel my face.
Who posed as an unscrumptious.
That dude is so unscrumptious.
Canadian businessman living in London who agreed to provide the necessary import licenses to allow the old cocaine to be shipped to London. They're like, okay, I don't never seen you before.
Right. Oh, wow.
Here's all this cocaine. 17th of August, year 1994. Ship loaded with cocaine left Barranquilla, while 2 members of the Montreal chapter, Pierre Roderick and David Arolo, they were sent to London to pick up the payment when the ship arrived. I'm sure you were. You're gonna get picked up, all right.
Right. Well, Pierre and David, 2 Canadian. Yes, we know. Well, Pierre and David from the Sherbrooke chapter were arrested by British police in London at the request of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in February of 95 before being extradited to Canada and sentenced to 14 years imprisonment for conspiring to smuggle 558 kilos of coke into the UK in a scheme also involving the Rizzuto crime family, plus the Cali cartel.
Ooh.
Nick Clark of the National Crime Intelligence Service stated, when the rooms were searched, they found contact lists for all the UK chapters. We suspected they were going to use that for a distribution network.
Oh, no shit.
Really?
Wow. The Swedish and Dutch Angels, they frequently visited the United Kingdom. They did that to meet members of the British chapters and vice versa.
Well, yeah.
Marco Heger of the Dutch Nomad chapter often visited the United Kingdom along with Colombia, with the latter nation being well known as a source of cocaine, obviously.
Yep.
The old British Hells Angels have also had close links with the chapters in South Africa, which is a major source of marijuana. Also in South Africa, a pound of marijuana.
Why do they spell it like that? I forgot. There was a reason why they use an H instead of the J or something like that. I forget, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, South Africa, a pound of marijuana sells for 20 pounds, which is 3,000 pounds in Britain.
Yes, they can go to South Africa, buy a pound for 20 pounds, and turn around and go to Britain and sell it for 3,000 pounds.
Right.
Man, that's some buku bucks right there.
You ain't kidding.
In 1998, a police report stated information was received from a source that the Johannesburg Hells Angels had been exporting cannabis to the UK. Okay. A South African Hells Angel had been arrested in Swaziland for seeking to buy marijuana on a massive scale, as the Johannesburg chapter had received an order from the British Hells Angels for marijuana. 2 members of the Johannesburg chapter on the way back to South Africa were arrested at the Heathrow Airport, 6th of November 1998, with some 25,000 pounds of money in their possession. Which was, that's got to be like confusing.
Right.
You're talking about pounds and pounds, you know?
Right.
Which was the payment for a shipment of marijuana, which had been smuggled into Great Britain from South Africa inside raw iron furniture. Oh, shit.
Dude, the fucking lengths they went to try to regulate a plant.
It's marijuana.
A natural growing fucking plant. You idiots.
It's not natural if you're growing it yourself, is it?
Of course. The resulting investigation that the British and the South African Angels had set up a trading company, a furniture company, a farm in Swaziland. Almighty Patrick. The Almighty Patrick.
They got a big statue. All hail Patrick.
Instead of, he's going like this, but without Jennifer Grey.
A newly inducted member has to like run and jump into the arms.
It hurts though.
The bronze thumbs go right into my freaking ribs.
Shit. Oh, fuck. As part of the investigation, the police seized 1.2 tons of South African marijuana on the Tilbury docks in London.
1.2 tons?
Damn.
That British tons or American tons? Is there a difference?
I don't know, but it's a lot. Sharon Marsden wrote, but no doubt that the vast majority of drug shipments from Africa, not to mention Amsterdam, Colombia, they get unnoticed and uninterrupted.
Fucking course, dude.
Well, Clark admitted, it is a challenge. At the end of the day, we're dealing with some very clever people. They're not bleeding idiots.
Well, all right. Let's move in from drugs to arms trafficking. Kent chapter of the Hells Angels. How about this guy that we've said was the most famous guy ever? And we've heard him once. The Kent chapter of the Hells Angels opened up a puppet club. In 1997 called the Patriots. That was only open to current or former servicemen.
Oh, fantastic.
The Patriots had its origins in another Hells Angels puppet club founded in the 80s called Soldier Blue. That was only open to members of the British Army.
Okay.
Soldier Blue Motorcycle Club was then made open to members of the Royal Air Force and Royal Navy, which led to the name change.
All right.
The police believe that the Patriots Motorcycle Club exists to steal weapons from armories, which they would have knowledge of, like layouts and shit like that, I would assume, right?
Oh, okay, good for them. 1998, Belgian police seized a number of arms from the Angels member or Angels chapter, some of which
has two. How do you see a number of them?
right, some of which bore serial numbers that match arms stolen from the British Army, along with cards from the Patriots.
You gotta fucking etch those off, buddies.
January year 1988. 1998. The sergeant at arms of the Patriots, Richard Davey. He was killed in a motorcycle accident.
Oh.
They found his corpse. Found on his corpse was an address book. Which
Found his corpse in an address book.
Is it an address or address?
Whatever you want to say.
All right.
However you want to address it.
They found on his corpse an address book, which revealed that he had strong links to the Angel chapter in the United Kingdom and Belgium, along with the telephone numbers of a number of known cocaine suppliers in Belgium and the Netherlands.
All right. At Davies funeral, 19 full-patch Hells Angels were present. The president of the Patriots, Martin Pocock, worked as a mechanic at the Hells Angels' owned Kent Customs bike shop.
Okay.
Popcock. Wait. Is it Pocock or Popcock? What do we got on there?
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
I think it's Pocock.
Oh, yeah. Pocock had served with the Royal Engineers for 15 years.
Popcock.
And most of his service record was protected, leading a police report to deduce he was attached to a specialist unit. They didn't reveal shit about this guy.
Nope.
June 98, an internal investigation by the Ministry of Defense revealed that Patriots served as a security at a hotel, Hells Angels, at a Hells Angels events, and socialized often with them.
Oh.
The report concluded the Hells Angels socialize with the Patriots. The Hells Angels Kent has services personnel effectively under their control. At least 7 currently serving soldiers were members of the Patriots.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's currently serving, all right. Well, that was in 98.
Right. 2nd of November, year 1998. The Popo visited Pocock's house.
The Popo visited Popo Cox.
Visited his house on a minor vehicle offense.
What?
And they found that he had a rocket launcher along with a shotgun hanging on the wall of his
because
living
that
room.
normally happens for a minor vehicle offense. You know, you get like a rocket launcher is discovered.
That's fucked up. Once it was established that Pocock did not.
It's probably because he had a shotgun hanging on the wall, and he probably came to the door, and the officer saw it.
Right.
You know, you're not allowed of guns.
Right. Once it was established that Pocock didn't even have a firearms permit, he was arrested and charged with possession of illegal weapons. So gay.
Right.
May 1999, Pocock plea bargain with the Crown, where he pledged guilty to owning 9 rocket launchers,
Damn.
4 anti-tank mines,
Jeez.
whoa, 1 submachine gun, and 1 sawed-off machine gun. They're like, we'll let the other one slide, but that sawed-off.
Sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, sawed-off shotgun, son of a bitch.
A fucking sawed-off machine gun? That'd be crazy.
Ooh, I think it would just blow up in your hand.
Probably. There appeared to be an effort to cover up the allegations around the Patriots, as a police report noted. Home Office and military intelligence are concerned that allegations that the allegiance with the Hells Angels of the armed services would cause considerable embarrassment, especially with regard to the security of military equipment. Right. An officer with military intelligence who did not wish to be named told Sharon Marston, the Patriots are leaving themselves wide open to getting firearms for the Angels. They will obviously be monitored for the foreseeable future.
Oh, about fucking time, right? Angels member Dennis Taskin, jailed 6 years, 9 months. He admitted to illegally possessing ammo and 5 guns, as well as some cocaine.
How do you admit to it?
Right. Some amphetamines and some morphine. Ooh.
Did they find this, or did he just say, yeah, I got it?
Popo had found an Uzi,
Oh,
3 revolvers, antique pistol, as well as a dum-dum
You
bullets
little dum-dum.
and drugs when they raided a flat rented by Taskin that was in Hove on the 26th of December 2009. Stuart Manners, a member of the Angels Cat His Head chapter. He was jailed for 12 years after being convicted of selling a Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun. 21 bullets as well to go with that handgun to a Liverpool criminal, Darren Elcock, and his associate Paul Estridge in Stockport. That was in August 2012. Well, those 2 idiots, Elcock and Estridge, they were both sentenced to 14 years.
Alrighty then. And moving on for a quick
Wales.
an easy little Wales section of the UK. The first Welsh Angels chapter was formed in 99 of October. The Hells Angels West Wales chapter clubhouse in Haverfordwest was raided by police in September 2007, with the police finding a handgun fitted with a silencer loaded with a full mag of bullets. Gary Young, a probationary club member, was charged with possessing the weapon. He denied the charge and was found not guilty, though. Okay. I didn't do it. All right. He was later granted a conditional discharge after 2 years, or for 2 years after admitted possessing a firearm without a certificate, possessing an offensive weapon, and possessing 3 amounts of cannabis. At what point can your weapon become defensive?
Right.
Charges which stem from further police raids on his home during the initial investigation.
Right.
Hey, dude, you just got raided once. Common sense puts this shit away. Why are criminals so stupid?
Right. Well, this guy, Young, he was expelled from the Angels due to the club taking exception to him naming names about who was within the West Wales chapter.
Oh, so
he's like, you did what? Neil Lake, he needed 3 metal plates inserted in his face after being attacked by Angels. After being attacked by a Hell's Angel at a petrol station in Cardiff. That was in October 2017. Nope, 2007.
Right.
Lake, he took down the registration of his attacker's Harley-Davidson motorcycle, which led the Popo to Sean Timmons, the vice president of the Wolverhampton chapter. Oh, wow.
Timmons denied inflicting grievous bodily harm on Lake and claimed that a fellow club member had been riding around with the same number plates as him. Oh, so you're trying to throw somebody else under the bus? He told a judge he knew the identity of the actual attacker, but explained that it would be against club rules for him to name him. Timmons was cleared of the charge and just fucking, oh my gosh, dude. Trailer Park Boy cops, dude, I swear.
Yeah.
He was cleared of the charge in September 2008 after providing an alibi who said that he was working in his hometown on the day of the attack. Of course he did.
All right.
He would later be one of 3 Angels jailed for 6 years after the brawl with Outlaws at Birmingham Airport.
Oh,
well, there you go.
Idiot. Angel member Stephen Jones and Raymond Scadden, they were cleared of violent behavior. While former member Andrew McCann, he was found not guilty of violent disorder, but convicted of using threatening, abusive, and insulting words or behavior at Newport Crown Court on the 1st of November 2015.
What?
Jeez. You said some hurtful words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, they'll kill me.
20 years.
Wow. Jones and Scadden maintained that they went to McCann's home in Newport on the 14th of January 2015. They wanted to collect some money for $2,000 for a gold necklace that had been given to him. 2,000 pounds for a gold necklace that had been given to him, and that they had acted in self-defense after an alleged attack by McCann and his son. Well, McCann, who left the club in 2014 after a dispute, he claimed that the 2 Angels had come to extort 5,000 pounds from him.
Right. That's it for Wales, for the time being, anyways. That's not bad. Better than Australia, to be honest with you. There's more action than Australia had going on, that's for sure. I would have thought those Aussies would have been a little bit more
You think so, right?
more crazy over there, but not bad, all right? UK doing some things.
Decent.
Coming up next month, though, we'll have Canada, which these guys should be a little more compared to the American stuff, right?
Yeah. We're going to be in it heavily with the drugs, these guys.
We got that, and then we'll have the rest of the world, and then George Christie, and then we'll say bye-bye to the Hells Angels. In the meantime, next week, we're going to get on another remastered episode, which I believe is
Georgia.
I think it's Billy the Kid, to be honest with you.
I miss Billy the Kid.
So stay tuned for that. And then obviously we'll close it out with our serial killer of the month. The week after that. Don't know who that's going to be yet.
It's going to be Dr. Fauci.
He's a mass murderer.
Right.
And then, yeah, YouTube, if you want to get this show and our show, Battles of the American Civil War, all in one place, or you can just check it out on the podcast. Give us a review, share us with your fans, answer that Spotify question. We'll be back next week for probably Billy the Clid, if I'm not
Billy the Click.
mistaken. So we'll see you then. Where the mother music enters, we.
Ding dang.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on new episodes of Outlaws and Gunslingers or Battles of the American Civil War, right here on the Bang Dang Network. And don't forget to check out those playlists.